I'm gonna get started here. For those who will come, they have the recording, but it's great to see everybody in here. I'm happy to see some new faces as well. Um, and we're just doing this little live because I know we only do with Quant for we've been doing it for a little bit. But I'm glad to be in here. Glad to see a lot of people in here. And we're just gonna get started for the recap today. I'm just gonna go over the higher time frame as well. And last week I did post a kind of like what I'm expecting for this week, and we kind of got our push up into this specific area that I've been watching. So, real quick, let's take a look at a little recap of what I'm taking a look at here on the daily. Okay, so I personally want to see if we can take these highs out here on ES as well. There's low resistance liquidity that has been engineered. We have that high there. And I did mention how I wanted to see a little SMT here with ES and NQ, but at the same time, something that we have to keep in mind here as well is overall NQ is keeping up with ES. Okay, it has almost taken this high out here. I'll kind of mark it. I know it's a little, almost there, right? Equal highs up there. And same thing with NQ. NQ is kind of a little delayed there, but they're following each other, right? We pushed down into a higher time frame PD array, okay, and then continued up. So we have this BISI here, right? And we're trying to see if we can get a push up into this daily SIBI up here, okay? And I mentioned how I wanted to see a continuation upwards, simply because if we go to the 4-hour time frame on ES, you can see there's a clear fair value gap here, a BISI right over here. So if I mark that and get rid of this, let's mark this right here, right? We've displaced above these highs over here, pushed back down into some sort of discount, and then continued up. There's equal highs here on the lower time frame, and almost touching that high again, right? Same thing with NQ. It left equal highs today, and price is bullish. If we go to the 1 hour, we can see much more information, right? As I mentioned, higher time frame all the way down to the lower time frame is what you want to make sure you kind of get down, okay? Because digital time theory is amazing, but if you don't have the right draw on liquidity, then it's going to be challenging to use it, right? So what we're going to go over today's session as well in a bit, but I want to bring attention to something here. This was a SIBI that we ran through, okay? My bad. SIBI that we ran through on this specific day here, just 1 hourly candle running through that entire area. So this becomes a balanced price range, right? Price moves up to this high. There's that daily fair value gap up here. This SIBI, this red box is what that daily is. Pushes back down right to the CE of this SIBI, little bit below it, and then pushes back up, and now we're trying to continue to those highs. There's a lot of low resistance liquidity that's been engineered here. So I'm very curious to see if we can push up, take these highs out, and eventually take those highs out there. We do have a higher time frame fair value gap here that we have respected, and a huge wick on this day that was completely balanced through here. So the higher time frame and lower time frame are showing that the algorithm is pushing price up to liquidity levels. Okay, in this case we have those buy side liquidity levels. All right, so going down to the 15-minute here, okay, I want to just focus on, I know we look at Dow. I was calling this SMT out earlier today, but I said it most likely does not matter because Dow is doing its own thing. We're looking at mainly at ES and NQ, okay, for SMT. That's what I've been personally using. So essentially for Asia and London, we had that push right back down into that SIBI, okay? Previously we touched the CE over here. So this is that balanced price range I was talking about. Push back up, then push down, and we took this low out specifically, okay? I do like focusing on NQ more than anything, just because it's much cleaner, but we also take a look at ES for SMTs and things like that, all right? So if I get rid of this here, just to make things a little cleaner, actually we'll get rid of this here. And we'll draw this 15-minute fair value gap. Okay, so if we put busy there, we traded right down into it, took that low out right over here, and then eventually what happened is price started pushing up. Okay, and this was before New York open. So this was all during London. So London here, right, takes that low out into that higher time frame PD area, in this case, the 1 hour SIBI and the 15-minute BISI here. Then we know that there is low resistance liquidity here, some equal highs here on ES as well. If I mark these, equal highs are a magnet. Okay, same thing up here, equal highs. So we see that and we know that the algorithm wants those highs. Retail is looking at those highs as a double top, kind of like a resistance level, right? And we know as ICT traders that that's going to be a magnet for market makers to take, okay? To take all those stops out, take that liquidity, all right? So we got that push up, taking all this low resistance liquidity out, right? Little trend line here, okay? Same thing here on NQ. Now notice there's an SMT here, right? In a PD array right before it drops and takes out sell side there, uses that 15-minute fair value gap here, and then continues up, all right? So that's what I'm taking a look at. So when I woke up this morning here in the West Coast, super early, I noticed that there was a lot of volatility here, okay? And usually I get on for 1001 to trade during this time. Recently, the AM has been, we get like a lot of movement back and forth, and today was a clear example. So two things to note here, okay? We are under the New York Midnight Open, okay? The best long setups are under the New York Midnight Open, and if there's liquidity resting above the midnight opening price, we can expect price to run to that liquidity, okay? So now if we go down to the 1 minute, right? I'm going to mark it a couple times. I'm going to stay on, actually, before I do that, let me mark one very important thing here. There was an SMT right here, okay? Let me mark this one as well. Right here with ES and NQ before we pushed up. So I was long in the morning during the live executions, or live tape reading, excuse me, not executions. I'm thinking about the recordings, but right after 12:35, I said I want to see model 1001 push up and continue higher to these highs over here, this high here, and then this would be my terminus target, which we still haven't hit. Okay. I said for, if I wanted to trade, this would be my take profit and I'd be done for the day. I didn't really trade today. I didn't like what I was seeing, and I, promised myself that I wouldn't trade today just because of my own rules. But nonetheless, it was super clean after 1001. So a lot of people ask, so this is your 1001, model 1001 starts at 12:35, ends at 14:09. Now we can see here, we had a little wick down here right after 12:35. This wick down there was a little 5-minute fair value gap here, I believe. Let me try and find that. So we know that this SMT here, I was bullish because of this specific SMT. Not only that, what we had as well was this new week opening gap, the current one. So we had an SMT at the new week opening gap. ES's new week opening gap was a little bit higher. Okay, so this gave me indication that price definitely wants to move higher. Take out all of this buy side that's been engineered during the entire New York session up until after lunch. Okay, so this is why is this low resistance? Okay, well, when price is moving like this, all it's doing is it's moving down, and I know my chart's a little bit messy here, just bear with me. All it's doing is it's moving down to a higher time frame PD array. Okay, so this would be your PD array, right? And as that liquidity is being engineered, the algorithm eventually at a specific time, right? At a specific time here, so X and Y, that's where we're using, okay? X is your time, Y is your price. They work together. You're trying to see when that move will start, right? So based on digital time theory, we can expect model 1001 to start at 12:35, okay? Now notice that during the entire session here, okay, what is happening is buy side is being engineered. Now, if you just have a bunch of chop and not much volatility, what can we expect? We can expect model 1001 from 1235 to 1409 to bring some volatility in, okay, to this buy side, which it does. I know my bias is bullish with this SMT here, right, that we marked, okay. Now I'm going to bring attention to just NQ, all right. Notice how we respect this new week opening gap here, right? We use that, push up, close above these specific highs here, little close above here, displays creating that 5-minute fair value gap, okay? Then right after 1235, 1236, a minute after, we push up all the way to this high here, okay? And a little under the New York open. So we, in the, the quant members in the live tape reading today, I wanted to see if we could get a continuation between this entire interval here. So what are those times? We have 13 here. So 13 brought that volatility in right back to where? This 5-minute fair value gap. Okay. NFP is this week, so you can expect price to act in this way, or for price delivery to kind of present in this way, right? It's referring back to a lot of PD arrays. That's essentially what it's doing, taking a ton of stops out, right? And then the other times we have are 1320, 1330, and then 1340, okay? So what's significant about these times, specifically for 1320 to 1330, what we look at is we want to see if there's some sort of a discrepancy in price, whether it can be chop, or OTE or some sort of retracement. In this case, I did call it out in the tape reading today. I said just watch 1320 here for a possible move back down, right? Because price is just acting like this in this area for a bit. We may not even see 1001 occur. We may see 1409 bring us volatility, okay? And this would be model 111 after 1409, okay? And that's exactly what we got, right? So 1320 brings us back down into these 1-minute fair value gaps. There's a little inversions here that I respected. For example, this one right over here, okay? And then we push back up, right? Then 1330 knocks us back down, okay? Nothing happens after 1340. So whenever you see, for digital time theory, whenever you see 1340 not giving you that initial move to your targets at 1340, right? Then what do we expect for this entire area? We can expect price to just chill out for a little bit until that liquidity run starts. So right after 1409, we can see a little wick here, then continuation up. So 3 minutes after 1409, we get a push up to all this buy side up here, my target up here. And I said I wanted to see this high over here. Why? Well, because we also, right, we had these fair value gaps right there on the 15-minute and the hourly. My bad here. Let me just draw it like this. Okay. And we didn't take this low out or this high, okay? And we know price is bullish. We had those SMTs there, and price just wants higher, okay? We completely balanced this range out, moved up to this daily fair value gap up here. That's what this red box is. Pushes back all the way down to this area, and we know price just wants liquidity, especially after all this was engineered during Asia, London, and NQ even engineered some buy side. So the move was obvious to buy side, but it was a matter of what time, my bad. Including, the New York push, or the New York buy side that's being engineered here, and then the push later. So what time is it going to happen? That's where you're looking for. And that's what digital time theory offers, right? Gives you those times to utilize. And what was tricky today, even for myself in the live, I wanted to see the push happen at 1330. If it doesn't, what can you expect? You know that the model 111 times are there. You have 1409, you have 1447, 1514, and 1545, okay? And I want you guys to go back test those times as well. 1514 is here, okay? And 1447 is around here, okay? So we can see if I mark 1447 here, that's right after 1409. What happens? Algorithm kicks back in to push down. Immediate rebalance here on the hourly, okay? Immediate rebalance here, right at 1447. The 15-minute gets the PD raise on the 15-minute gets pushed to, right? The bodies of these candles are right at the New York opening price, and then price continues to push up higher. Okay, just to shake a ton of people out there. Then again, 15.14 and 15.45 are those times after you guys want to take a look at that. But that's the little recap for today. All this entire area here was for engineering buy side, and then what happens after is a push up, right, to take out all of this buy side. So if none of these models happen here, expect the models here to happen, right? Of course, Ivan, of course. Does anybody have any questions? That's pretty much the recap for 1001 here, and some of the other times as well. So if nobody has any more questions, this will be the end of the recap. Just to, kind of give you guys an idea of where I'm looking. I'm still looking higher. So I want to see if this high is taken out, and eventually this one right here. Okay. Josh said was dialed in. That's funny. I'm glad you were locked in though. Always good to be locked in during the lives. That's the same thing with me. Anytime I watch somebody like doing a little live, I just have to lock in real quick. Just gotta focus up. Thanks, Ivan. I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate those kind words. But yeah. So real quick, this is going to be recorded. I see a lot of people joining in here, so this will be recorded. I'll put it in the videos channel for members, and you guys will have access to that. I love to talk about delayed expansion. Thank you. I appreciate that. Hope that made sense. I hope, a lot of people were able to get that. I love your work as well, Josh. Amazing work. I love it. Of course, of course. Great question, Chip. So, we do. First of all, welcome. We're really glad to have you here. We do have access to the Digital Time Theory book. It is in the Discord. There's a lot of information, and the channels you can ask people around to see how they like DTT. But we have the ebook link. I would highly suggest you start there and just study the book and those times specifically. Right, and then if you have any more questions and things like that, there's a lot more things that we offer here. There's a lot of free resources for the members. So, yeah. It's a bunch of times throughout the day. It helps you time. Tassie said, thank you, I'm still learning Digital Time Theory. Hell yeah, I would love to hear it. Hopefully it's helping out. I'd love to hear that. Hey, Terp. Welcome. I appreciate those kind words. Seriously, that means a lot. We're just trying to help people out, trying to put this stuff out there. But I'm super happy you got the ebook. You're definitely gonna love it. Ivan did a great job on that. Lots of important information there. Sounds good, Chip. Sounds good. Super happy to see these new faces. There's a lot of new faces in here. Love to see it. Any more questions? I'm just going to wait till some of you guys are done typing. I see several people are typing. So, but for those who are watching the recording, the recap is going to end off here. If you guys have any questions, make sure you send it in the Discord and the chat.